So, welcome to Ala Zaidman of Oasis Summer Day Camps, which are located throughout New York and New Jersey. Today, we're going to talk about how to choose the best day camp for your child. So, Ala, how do you suggest parents determine the right fit for their child?
Um, First of all, thanks for having me. Um, what I think is really key is for parents to think about who their child is and what their personalities are, what they enjoy doing, and what they want to get out of that summer. And then they need to start to choose and really research from methods online and certainly recommendations of friends with similar tastes who want to have similar experiences to your own child, and then go ahead and research some of those camps with regard to pricing, location, hours that the camp operates, especially for dual working households, as well as what is it actually that the camp offers. And when they start to compare all that, they'll narrow it down to, one, two, at most three options. And then I'd suggest to really have a good talk with the camp director. I really think that there's no better way to understand how that camp runs than getting to know the camp director who is leading the charge there. Because that camp director will influence everything with regard to who the rest of the leadership team is, what kind of events they're going to be planning for the summer, how they will vet and hire the rest of the team that will be, in charge of the children and really be the ones that will be, monitoring the kids and making sure the kids are having a good time, as well as making sure that the kids are safe. And that camp director will be the key source of communication for that parent the entire summer. And they need to be really sure that they're comfortable with understanding that camp director and the camp's methodology and how they're putting that together.
And is it important to ask the camp director how your child's going to be spending their day?
I think that that's really the key, right? When you figure out what it is that you want your child to do for the summer and how you want them to spend their time and what they want to get out of it, that is really important to understand the activities that are being offered at that camp, how the director and the director's team will be putting together the schedule for each age group, what type of other events will they be doing, such as perhaps carnivals and scavenger hunts and tie dyes and all of these things that make camp camp. And also what amount of time the children will be spending indoors versus outdoors. Because there are certainly some specialty camps that are geared to be indoors and may have offerings for enrichment programs such as, computer coding and or sciences or arts such as music or dance camps or theater camps, where again they would be more geared to be inside in an area such as a theater or a classroom. And if that's not the experience you want for your child, then you really have to dig in a little bit and see where they're going to be and what they're going to be doing.
And what questions do you think parents should ask about safety measures at the camp?
Well, I mean, given our environment right now, certainly I think the whether or not the camp operated last year and how they did with regard to any protocols that they enacted, and also whether they had any outbreaks last year. We ran three programs. We did not have any outbreaks. We were all geared to be outside with social distancing, masks, and other, sanitizing measures that we undertook quite seriously. And I think that outside of this pandemic environment, it is very key to figure out who is first aid and CPR certified, who is going to be the health director, and where will they be located, because you want those folks in proximity of the children. or at least very, very close by. You want to understand the background checks that are being done at the camp. We do national background checks for every staff member at Oasis. You want to also think about how these folks are being selected and how they're being hired, because there should be a real solid process in place for that to be something that you're comfortable with, and you want to understand that this camp director knows every staff member that is coming on board to work with the children. I think the other safety measures I would think about is who is teaching swim, who is teaching the activities themselves. Because once you have experienced staff that is able to deliver instruction, whether it be swim, sports, martial arts, performing arts, music, doesn't matter. If they're able to do it effectively, then campers are very engaged. When they're very engaged, there's much less of a chance of them having any kind of accidents go on. But also, those instructors understand the difference between delivering instruction and delivering that activity to 3-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 11-year-olds, and how to make that interesting, engaging, and make sure that the kids, are really in it, as well as the staff that has to be in it for the kids to do well.
And before we go, tell us a little bit about your camp.
So Oasis runs many locations throughout New York and New Jersey. We run a location in Dobbs Ferry, Westchester, at Long Island and LIU Post, in Manhattan at Central Park, as well as downtown Manhattan. We run one in Bayside at Fort Taunton Park, and one in Madison, New Jersey at Drew University. We offer programs for ages 3 to 15, with our younger groups being in tiny groups with awesome supervision, to our teen travel groups for those 12 to 15-year-olds that travel off location every day to various local activities, and then do some overnights too. Our hours are, really are geared towards working parents from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And that's one of the things that we know draws people to our camp as well. We're a very traditional camp with programming that spans sports, arts, instructional and recreational, swim, nature studies, and many, many other, camp activities. And if you think about it, sleepaway camp experience with tie-dye and carnivals and scavenger hunts, relay races, all those things, that is what we do in a day camp format, located, probably very close to where everyone lives.
Well, Ala, thank you so much for this great information.
Thank you.